Hi and welcome from Big Island, Hawaii. This is Aditya Nowotny in the series Enjoy, Progress, Success and Happiness. How you can live the life you love. I give you 70 tips, 70 life-changing strategies, and one of them is today's focus or multitasking. Which is better? What works better? Today we live in a world of overwhelm, so many things to do, so many media, and we always wonder, should I do this, should I do that, and then we end up doing everything at once. Do you know that syndrome? It happens all too often. Now let me explain to you what multitasking does to our brain and to our nerve system. It's a very similar thing that happens to a computer when a computer is copying files. Maybe you have been copying files from a computer to a hard disk, external hard drive, and things went too slow for you. You became impatient and you thought, well, instead of moving one file, why not move many files at once and let the computer do the work? Now what happened, and I'm sure you noticed, is that the computer became slower than when it was copying one file. And why is that? Because the processor is flicking back and forth between all the files that it is copying. It means if you have 10 files you are copying, then it flicks back between file 1, file 2, file 3, file 4, file 5, file 6, and so on, and back to file 1, file 2, file 6, file 7, and so on, giving you all the time the impression that the computer is doing everything at once, which it isn't. Even the computer is not capable of multitasking. What the computer is capable of doing is quickly flicking back and forth, and thereby creating the impression that it is multitasking, but it isn't. And so the same thing when you try to do more things at once. Let's say you listen to something, you speak with someone, and at the same time you're writing down notes. Then a lot of quality is lost in the process, because either you're listening to someone or speaking with the person, or you're watching something or listening to something, or you're writing down notes. But three don't go into one, because your consciousness needs focus. And in fact, like the computer is faster when you have the discipline to copy first file number 1, then file number 2, when it is finished file number 3, and so on. Even so, your consciousness and your brain and nerve system works exactly in the same way. Stop multitasking, stop flicking back and forth. It only slows you down. And you know what happens with the computer when you have too many files being copied, too many processes going on? The computer crashes. Even nowadays, when the computers have huge capacities, it can happen that you crash your computer if you multitask it too much. Now what about yourselves? How is it when you crash? And people often crash and they don't even notice. They're just a little disoriented, or they lose their focus, or they forget what they wanted to do, or even if they still know what they want to do, they lost the power of intention. They don't have the zeal, they don't have the one-pointedness to make whatever they are doing a real success. And if people are multitasking too much for too long time, then what can happen to them is a big crash. That big crash is sometimes called burnout, sometimes called by other names, but it is always a result of not saying no, but always saying yes to everything. And then you say yes to this person, you say yes to doing this, you say yes to that person, and in the end you can't do anything because you crack under the load. That's what causes the overwhelm. So slow down. Slow down. It's a very important message. My favorite Hawaiian island, by the way, is Molokai. And in Molokai, when you drive out of the airport, the first thing you read is slow down, it's Molokai. Slow down, it's Molokai. So my message to you, do you focus or do you multitask? If you multitask, why do you fall into that trap? Possibly because you're too fast. Possibly because you want to do too many things at once. Possibly because you think you can handle it, because it's modern to multitask. It's wrong. You're mistaken. You can do qualitatively the things the best if you focus on each of them step by step. As the computer that is copying the files, indeed, he is doing each copying process singularly. The only thing he's flicking back and forth so quickly that you don't notice that it's not multitasking. So very important for your saneness, very important for your health. Slow down, slow down. It's Molokai. Slow down, it's Maui. Slow down, it's Big Island, where I'm standing. Slow down, it's New York. Slow down, it's Tokyo. Slow down, it's London. Slow down, it's wherever you are. There's a big secret in doing less, and by doing less, doing more. By doing less, you do more, if you're focused. So I decided to do all the qualitative work that I do only for 4 hours every day. Routine task in another section. Can learn about that in my training. Optimize your personal productivity. It's coming out soon, being released in 1.5 months. And that is tremendous. How much you profit if you have 4 power hours. In fact, I don't even have 4 power hours, I have 2 power 90 minutes. With rest in between, ultra-dian rest, which is great for the brain, which is great for the nerve system, which is great for the whole body. Because you can put out high performance only for 80 to 90 minutes in one stretch. Then you rest for 10 or 15 minutes. So by reducing what I do and by focusing on one thing at a time, I halved what I do, and therefore I doubled the output of what I achieve. That has many implications. It's a huge topic, that's why I'm releasing a whole training on it, and it's a super secret. It's really the secret by doing half or even doing less than half. I mean, I'm sure some of you know Tim Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Work Week. I can tell you I'm not there yet, and I can tell you Tim Ferriss is definitely doing more than 4 hours just because he loves the projects on which he works. But still, 4-hour work week, it's a little utopian. But 4-hour work day, that's manageable. If you focus, if you stop multitasking because you're scattering your attention all over the place, which slows your processing power down and which ultimately makes you crash, like a computer crashes if you have too many processes running at the same time. So isn't that great? What a great message. Do half, but do it concentratedly. Forget about multitasking. Have 4 power hours or 2 power 90 minutes a day in which you do the really important things that bring you all the results. For the rest, do the routine work that is necessary, and otherwise actually delegate. Can delegate a lot, especially if you are an entrepreneur. There's many things you should not do. It's called the opportunity cost. It costs you the opportunity. Opportunitätskosten, as we call it in German. It's actually a German term. So if you involve yourself doing things that somebody else could do, you shouldn't do it, because it costs you the opportunity to do what you should do and in what you are good. So huge complex. Main message: slow down, slow down. Forget about multitasking. Cancel, delete, and start focusing. And you will do half or even less than half, and you will achieve twice or more than twice. Enjoy the morning. Susanne in Dubai, Eve Arnold in Switzerland, And I forgot the name in Malaysia, so for you it's already morning, for me it's evening here. I'm halfway in the Pacific, you're already in the next day. So really great you're watching. Thank you for tuning in, and see you next time in the series Enjoy, Progress, Success and Happiness. Signing off, Aditya, Nowotny.